I think there we go. I think that's fixed it. Sorry, the bitrate on this was set to like 10,000. I hadn't like reduced it down, so I've just tried a few other settings to try and make it work. So hopefully it should fix it. So where was I? Oh yeah. Why I keep fucking getting to remove that. So yeah, why did I cancel, like, remove the game? And so because of like the different version of Unity, and when I tried to like upgrade the game, because there was a few things I wanted to change, I wanted to improve on some of the gameplay. There was a flaw that I realized that I'd done, and I was trying to fix it. Because my 3D modeling skills have got a lot better. Oh, there's someone's trying to take a shot at me again. So because I made it with a combination of visual scripting, i.e. Playmaker, and it was also an asset pack that I had. So I was mixing the two together, and when I tried to put it onto the new version of the engine, and I wanted to also change the graphics to, I think it was URP, there was a lot of issues. Like, first, the project took forever to fucking compile, which was a pain in the arse. But then the other issue that I had was, the other issue that I had was the shaders, because there was custom shaders that I made because it was all PS1 style, and even that wouldn't work properly. I lost a lot of shit for it, and it was like, look, I could spend ages repairing this thing, or, you know, and also at the time I'm not making any money off this game, or I can focus on my own IP. A lot of people who were talking to me at the time were going, James, why aren't you focusing on your own? You know, you don't need to do this version of the thing, you know. Some people are actually were like giving me advice on like the story for the game, and so I said in the end I realized, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm spending a lot of time on this. The numbers that I was seeing people playing of the game, it wasn't that great, and I was at the same time, I had I had a few people actually asking about something that I made. I made this little like render out of a nightclub, and someone asked me and they said, are we going to get that as a game? And I was like, you know, we could do a game like it. You know, I can't do a full video game. I would love to do a full video game of it, but we can't. But I can present what it would look like, and I spent like 6 weeks or 6 months on that, and it looked phenomenal, and it played phenomenal. I was proud of it. A lot of the things that I learned during that experience was great. I've built friendships across, let's say, the pond. But actually, it's all across the world now. Like, I've got friends in Germany. I've got friends in America. So it was just like, yeah, you know, I'll focus on that. And after I finished it, I was like, you know, I want to get to working on my game, because I was playing. I saw a trailer for a game called, I think it's called Slayers X, and at the same time, people often ask me what, like, hi there. $10.90. Who is that, I wonder? Welcome to the stream. What the fuck was that? Oh, there you are, you cheeky little bastard. So yeah, like I was playing like this game, and it was the trailer. I mean, the intro is fucking cool because it's like this guy had made a game in a journal when he was like in his teens, and he discovered it, and then he made 25 years later he made that game exactly like what it would be like if him as a teen had made it back then. And I thought that was fucking cool, and I was like, you know what, the first game I made, I did not think it was going to be the game that it was. So in the end I was like, right, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to make the game that I want to make. That's my very first game, and that game came which is now Shadows Over Lunar Falls. And I'm having fun working on that, like building the lore and stuff like that. I mean, it's good to go back to the lore that I was writing like 10 years ago. And not only that, there's going to be an ARG that I've been developing as well, which, to be honest, I don't think anybody else has done something like this. So it's going to be, it's good. Like, I had someone test it the other day, and they were like, how the fuck have you got this to work? And I was like, I don't know. But it's good. I think when people find it in the game, well, I'm going to start teasing it when the game's close to release. Okay. Bit of an the way that they've done the pistol, it's not linked to the hand properly or pointed to the hand properly. Trying not to set the alarm off. Oh. Shit. I still find it funny about the fact that when there was the reason why we haven't had a James Bond game in like ages is because the person on the rights to James Bond, they said that they didn't want a game where James Bond was shooting. They wanted it where it's like if you shot someone, they'd just go down and they'd sit down on the floor. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The fucking logo's got a fucking gun on it. What the fuck do you expect? So I'm glad, because Amazon got the right, like bought the rights, but they didn't have, like, the full thing. Oh shite. Didn't know we could do that. So yeah, it's like she didn't want them to do like a. She didn't want a game like that. So then in the end, Amazon bought the rights, and I think it was bought because it was like a wedding gift to Bezos' wife. So he bought her that and then realised what they wanted to do. And I think Barbara Broccoli just was like, no, I don't like that, I don't like that. So he was like, fuck it, just give me the complete and top creative rights, I'll sort it. And that's it. Because I did start to notice with like the James Bond franchise that it was just more about like, oh, buy this merch, buy that, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. And I realised it was just like a load of crap. Like, the last James Bond film I watched was just awful. And I've been a James Bond fan since I was a kid. I've got this is a unique ability of mine that just shows how much of a James Bond fan I was. Oh, that prick. And it's... I used to go to, like, my ex's house, and her dad would have, like, the James Bond movies on. And, I used to be able... Well, I didn't use... I can. Literally watch the play sound of the film, and I'd be like, oh, it's that. And they're like, how the hell did you know that? And she'd say, is it oh, James says it's this one? And he was like, yeah, it's that. And she was like, how the bloody hell do you know that? And I said, because I know the film's back to front. Is that a glitch? Yeah, that's a glitch. Did I just kill... I just killed Boris? Uh-oh. I was more concerned about fucking talking. Oh, bollocks. I've played this game since I was like 8 on the N64. It was the only game I had on the N64. But yeah, like I could just quote it word for word, like, and I have met George Lazenby, who I consider the best fucking Bond. Second best is always going to be Timothy Dalton, and then Pierce Brosnan the next. Just because Sean Connery's the first Bond doesn't mean he gives him the right to be the best James Bond. It's not. For me, it will always be like who is closer to the books. So, for example, like, Bond is meant to be like a stone cold killer. And he's also a womanizer, so he should be able to switch between the two. And, so I was saying Living Daylights, that scene where his mate gets killed, and then suddenly he treats, what's her name, the cellist, like a proper, like, no respect for her whatsoever. That's why it's like, for me, that is what Bond is. Roger Moore was cool. I did like Roger Moore. Like, I think he's got a lot of consistently good Bond films. Like, Living Daylights is... I mean, not Living Daylights. Live and Let Die was good. Man with the Golden Gun was one of my favourites. Spy Love Me was... When I was a kid, that was my favourite one. Moonraker was cool. For Your Eyes Only was really good. A View to a Kill was the only one, or View to a Kill, View to a Q, A View to a Kill and Octopussy is the only movies out of all the Bond films that I haven't watched that many times, so I don't really remember them as well. But yeah, Roger's cool. So much so that he played Bond. Well, he technically played Bond like more than what people think, because obviously he was in Cannonball Run playing a comedic version of himself, which was fucking hilarious. I love that, because you drive around with like an Aston Martin as well, and then he does like this cool scene. He's like, "I must warn you, I'm Roger Moore." Who? Roger Moore, and he gets punched in the face. Such a good film. but it's the same like George Lazenby. Like George Lazenby played James Bond twice, which not that many people know. Funnily enough, this is what's so cool about it, because there was a series in the 60s called Man from U.N.C.L.E. And what it was pretty much like an American version of like James Bond. Okay, good. That's fine. Have a good time, and thanks for joining. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Oi, go. What the fuck are you doing? Go. Cheeky. But for the day, or if anyone does join, Man from U.N.C.L.E. is linked to James Bond in such small ways. Oh, what the fuck? No, you don't. Get going. Because it was like Man from U.N.C.L.E., the main spy, and it was called Napoleon Solo. And if you watch Goldfinger, you know Goldfinger. Sorry, I have to do the hand actions for that. If you ever watch Bottom, you'll understand. When you quote Goldfinger, you've got to make it look like you're filming, because there's Goldfinger on the telly. But yeah, like there was a character named Napoleon Solo in Goldfinger, and that was like a subtle, like slight nod to Man from U.N.C.L.E. because Ian Fleming had some work on Man from U.N.C.L.E. And what he did was, so he put that little hint into it. They did a movie called The Return from Man from U.N.C.L.E. and George Lazenby appears in it in the Aston Martin with the JB 007 on the back of it. And that was it. Like, he was in another James Bond movie. And the reason why I know that is because I was a massive fan of George Lazenby, because I got to meet the guy, and he was really cool. My uncle got to meet Roger Moore. Got a photo of him, of my uncle with Roger Moore, and it's fucking cool. But George Lazenby was the best one because he was told by Bruce Lee, and that's a fact. And he lied his ass off to get the ring roll. Oh, you. Ah. I've got to remember what the fucking mission is on this one, because this is one I didn't used to play quite a lot. Okay, try not to kill the scientist. Got it. Silly fucking me. Oh, that was lucky shooting. Is there any other keys I'm missing about? There we go. It's the first time I've ever done that mission. Because my dad used to do this. If I was stuck, I go, Dad, can you do this for me? My favourite one. Apparently the music for this was Living Daylights mixed into it. And I think this was the first time I ever saw an MP5K. And there's a weapon I'll get in a minute, and a nice little Call of Duty reference for you about this weapon. Oh, fuck off. What the fuck is that? There we go, the Phantom. This gun, I mean, obviously the graphics do look different on the SX4. This is actually the Spectre from from Black Ops 1. And I've just folded this up again. So the moment I hit the keyboard, it messes it up. Oh. should not shoot hostages. Plus the music in this is just such a good song. Oh, I think that's 2. Yeah. You've got MP5Ks, you just got to do the double. He's fucking stuck, isn't he? Gotta remember the layout of this map. Even though it's one of my favourites, I tend to forget the fucking layout. So I need to try and get to the Tiger Chopper. See, I've got to get the tracker on there. There it is, the Tiger Chopper. Have I done all the objectives? Yep, good. Now we can get off this damn boat. Now, the game I'm working on now, the mission after this is what? It's inspired me to the prologue. I gotta remember the oh fuck. Fucker. Oh shit. Pardon me. Oh yeah, I need to fucking find a key to get in there. Oh, this is why I'm supposed to get in. Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. Now what you don't want to do, you see these bits. Trust me, this one that's broke. I've got a feeling it's the one where this door's glitched. You know the quote from Batman Forever? Intruder, intruder, shut up. That worked. Trying to think how to get in there. There we go. Plays incorrectly, shoot the fucker. There we go. I think that's the best time to end it for today, because I want to try and build a series out of this show. Excuse me, I'm eating. So yeah, that was Goldeneye for the N64. Oh, Xbox Live version, and best version you can get. I honestly think it's the best version. I understand that the Switch was shit. I understand the other Xbox one was shit because of Nintendo and Barbara Broccoli. So, well, that's what I've heard. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you had a good day. Please like, comment, do whatever you see all the links. And yeah, it's just a test stream as well. Still trying to iron out the bugs. And I'm also working on something pretty cool because once I end the stream here, I'm going to be working on it. So it's going to be cool. Something that I don't think a lot of people would have done. Especially a certain place. Anyway,